Hey yo, what's decent, yo? Tell me why on the other night I was on Pokemon Showdown, I see my boy MikeDecIsHere on the top of the list with a plus on the left hand side of his name. Yo, my boy is a small good moderator right now, moving up the food chain like he was Mufasa standing on top of Pride Rock. Like, yo, I see you, Antelope, and I see you, Giraffe. You smiling at my son. 2 weeks from now, I'ma eat your ass. What you know about that? Anyway, real jokes aside, all jokes aside. Yo, this is the OU suspect tier match that we had recently with the whole ideology of Kieran Black being in OU. So everybody's like testing that shit out. And look at his team, for instance. This guy has like Deoxys, yes, Genosec, Garchomp, Mence, Kieran Black ready to tear my ass apart. I have threats of my own, as you guys can see. I don't have to dictate the silhouettes that you see in front of you, but judging by his team layout, I'm going to think that he's going to lead out with Rotom. I was thinking more lenient to the Rotom, but I did consider the Deoxys, so I was kind of hesitant to whether I should lead out with Breloom or Genosec. I didn't want to lead out with Genosec and then U-turn only for him to like Volt switch out into something else to you know, get the switch priority onto whatever I was switching to. And plus my Loom is Sash, so in any case I could take a hit and put something to sleep. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna lead out with my Loom. He unfortunately for me leads out with Deoxys. I just tested to see if it has taunt because, you know, I've run into a lot of weird stuff. Trust me when I say that. So I stayed in anyway and went for the Spore. He goes for the taunt. I'm just gonna switch out into Genosec, go for the U-turn after getting the attack boost. It does 66%. I'm gonna switch out into my Mamoswine, which is kind of a bit of a mistake because I was thinking about getting off my rocks, but then on second thought I was like, nah, let me just finish this thing off before it gets a third layer of spikes up, as well as, you know, his own Stealth Rocks. So he lays out Stealth Rocks as a Dying Wish, and then afterwards switches out into his Ment, and then double switches out into his Rotom, which I did kind of predict to switch out into something else, because why would you switch into Ment on a Mamoswine? Just, I guess he was just trying to test out to see if I had like Ice Shot, or maybe to see if I was locked onto something. So I'm just gonna switch out into my Genosec on the Kieran Black, which is a hefty mistake, thinking that it could probably like take the outrage. That thing is a complete monster. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to respond by bringing in my own Garchomp and outraging him back, which leaves me open to this Genosec to revenge kill it with Ice Beam, which is kind of what I didn't want to do. Dragon Claw is not gonna O-hit KO, and I did have my doubts about O-hit KOing the Kieran Black because I've seen Kieran Black survive outrages from freaking Garchomp. It's nuts. That thing is absolutely crazy. So Genosec, after deduct, is locked on to Ice Beam. He switches out into Rotom, and it leads at 2% after taking a close combat, which is quite disappointing because I am sub-Salic, man. I was like, crap, man, I would have had to sub up for something else. So I was completely disoriented at that a little bit. I'm gonna switch out into my Mamoswine, my Magneton for Death Fodder, and then switch out into my Breloom. So he's locked on Earthquake, which Breloom resists being part grass. He's gonna make a hefty mistake, switch out into Salamence as opposed to switching out into his Rotom like he should have done in 2%, because Spore was kind of obvious. I had to go for it. And then now he's just going to take advantage of the situation, go for the Swords Dance as he brings in Genosec. I'm just going to retaliate back, finish it off with a Mach Punch, and then afterwards in comes his Garchomp, gets 2 KO by my +2 Mach Punch, but not before taking me out with his own ability to Rough Skin. And then my Mamoswine is going to clean up crew because Rotom's only at 2% and his other Pokemon is Met. So crazy game. One mistake did change the outcome of the match. Actually, I'm not exactly sure to what extent, because we obviously would have made different moves had his Mets been awake and his Rotom would have not been awake. So great match again. People make mistakes, it happens to the best of us. And if you guys just did enjoy the content, feel free to check my crazy ass out. I'm nuts, I'm warning you. I'll see you guys later. Peace. What you do?